Hey guys, this is a very impromptu edition of Savage Joy. So thank you for joining Real Progressives. This was an interesting day, as you all know, for anyone who has been awakened by the DNC corruption or for anyone who is still blind to it. No matter what faction it is, today was interesting, to say the least. I am going to give a disclaimer that there are going to be some hardcore F-bombs in this. I think I've said more today than I ever have in my entire life combined. So just going to give you a heads up. I gotta say, when I first saw this article, I swear I thought it was Andy Borowitz. I couldn't believe it was real. We've kind of dreamed of this day, to any of us who have been following this and, fighting for people to actually believe what we knew was true. When I saw this, and I saw that it was written by Donna Brazil, who I call Donna Brazil, what it comes down to is the way it was written was so pathetic that she accepted no culpability whatsoever, none. She never said, I'm sorry, even though that would mean nothing. It was so woe is me. So also I want to clarify, and I usually do when I discuss this on my show and on my page. But I want to clarify that when I say shills, I do not mean Hillary voters. I don't mean that. I've never vote shamed anyone in my life, and I never will. When I say shills, I'm referring to the people who have come into the Bernie chats and told us to kill ourselves, put, children's porn in our groups to have them shut down, all kinds of, just all kinds of ugly, disgusting things. That's who I'm talking about. So please don't take it as though I'm talking about anyone who voted for Hillary, because I would never do that. There's millions of people who did. I wrote in Bernie, and today I have never been more happy I did. I'm so fucking proud of that right now. So many of us are feeling such a range of emotions today. I've been, of course, chatting with so many people today. And it's, in the morning when I read this, I was freaking just screaming inside. I wanted to punch a wall. I'm not a violent person, but I started feeling rage like I've never felt. Then it went to crying. Then it went to smirking, because now, fuck you, you're finally exposed yet again. So it's been this whirlwind of emotions all day. So yeah, I'm all salt too, Jenna. I hear that shit. That's what my posts say today. Hell yeah, I'm freaking salty, and I have a right to be, as well as everyone else. So I had to print out. Can you guys hear me? I know one person just said they couldn't hear me. Can you guys hear? Okay, so a lot of you guys haven't been able to read the whole thing. So that's what I'm gonna do, is read the highlights, read the real gems. So the very first thing she says in this article is, Before I called Bernie Sanders, I lit a candle in my living room and put on some gospel music. I wanted to center myself for what I knew would be an emotional phone call. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? and you know, it's bananas to me because she tries to use her Christianity. She has before, when she was accused of giving the debate questions. She stated that I'm a Christian. I know what it's like to be persecuted, and I would never lie. Oh, wait, then she came out and admitted that it was true. You lied, bitch. Again and again. So anyway, that's how she started it. So ridiculous. And even if she did do that, it's obviously to make herself feel better because she's a fucking idiot. Anyway, so the way this is written is just so completely fake. What? I screamed. I am an officer of the party, and they've been telling us everything is fine, and they were raising money with no problems. That is amazing. Like, she should seriously go to acting school, Oscar worthy. I mean, seriously, just brilliantly written. Maybe I was an English major, maybe I'm snobby, but it doesn't really sound that convincing. Then she actually comes out and talks about money laundering, the stuff that we have seriously been talking about forever. Seriously, when have we not talked about this? Since even during the primaries, we've been talking about this shit. And then WikiLeaks proved it. Furthermore, so then here's an amazing part as well. No, that can't be true, I said. The party cannot take out a loan without the unanimous agreement of all the officers. So basically, the way that she's writing this is straight up like a fucking awful romance novel. I see her literally like, no, oh my God. It's so ridiculous. And Mark, yeah, it's so absurd that anyone who actually believes, the way that she's wording this shit is so sad. So then she says, wait, I said, that victory fund was supposed to be for whoever was the nominee and the state party races. You're telling me that Hillary has been controlling it since before she got the nomination? See, now this was hardcore because she was so offended by this that she gave Schill the debate questions. That's how pissed off she was. So I feel for her on that. She was really, really hurting. Then I found some interesting things when because I kind of read this like 5 times because I just could not believe it was real and it was so fascinating. So she literally states, this is a mess I have inherited. What? You inherited it? Are you fucking kidding me? You're serious. You inherited this. No accountability. This is like, you straight up sound like I'm not a huge fan of Obama, but you sound like the Obama haters who were like, who blame shit on him, even though he inherited shit from Bush. Like, inherited what? Take responsibility. Your shit is showing. You look like a fucking liar and an asshole. Anyway, so she said that word. Then she said, I was going to manage this party the best I could and try to make it better, even if Brooklyn did not like this. So there she is. She saves the day. She literally said, I bet it was kind of like when Hillary said, I'm going to go into Wall Street, and I went in and I told them to cut it out. That's probably what Donna sounded like. Just super hardcore. Just, oh shit, we better not fuck with them. Yes, the hero. So about Brooklyn, as a lot of you guys know, they actually did come out and admit that they had purged a bunch of voters, which, you know, most of us knew. They admitted this, I mean, you know, a year after the fact, but still, the dominoes are slightly starting to fall, just like a little bit, but it still doesn't give us justice. It's still another thing to throw in haters' faces. It's still another thing to be like, hey, guess what? Your girl sucks dicks. She's an asshole. You know, it's another thing to throw in their face. But is anything going to come of it? We all know damn right well from the past year. Shill and her companions are completely invincible. I'm sorry, Anne's comment. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Criminal charges should come of it. And that's something else I touched on earlier today. When all the shills are coming out talking about, since before November, since Shill took the nomination unfairly, since then, all the shills have come out and said, if this election isn't fair by even one vote, we're canceling it out and it's going to be a do-over. Still apply or not? Because, I mean, or is it only good when it favors your girl? Because I see a lot of hypocrisy all the time. So then at the one point on page 4, she said right around the time of the convention, the leaked emails revealed Hillary campaign was grabbing money from the state parties for its own purposes. Now listen to the wording. Leaked emails. Leaked. She said leaked. Oops. So I like that she's actually inadvertently admitting that it wasn't hacked, it was leaked, which we all knew. The Nation came out with proof of that. We all knew that. So she accidentally said leaked, which made me happy. Then another gem is when Donna states, when I got back from vacation at Martha's Vineyard, I at last found the document that described it all. The joint fundraising agreement between the DNC, the Hillary Victory Fund, and Hillary for America. So here's the interesting thing. Why the hell would you call it Hillary Victory Fund before she was even the nominee? Y'all cursed your bitch. You're stupid. Because if you're the DNC and you're supposed to be fair to both people, why isn't it the Democrat Victory Fund? And then the Dems, I digress a little, but they come out with their new slogan. I am not kidding. Look this shit up. I'm not kidding. Their new slogan is, I mean, have you seen the other guys? Swear that's their new fucking slogan. Not even kidding. It's incredible. But it's not just incredible that they do this. It's incredible that they're doing this because people literally buy this shit. They actually have so much denial and so much, cognitive dissonance. And it's just so incredible the amount of shit that people believe. And it's enough people to not stop them from continuing to perpetuate this ridiculousness. So then she talks about what she said to Bernard. She said, I had to keep my promise to Bernie by giving Hillary the debate questions. I was in agony as I dialed him. Keeping the secret was against everything I stood for, all that I valued as a woman and as a public servant. Hello, Senator. I've completed my review of the DNC, and I did find the cancer, I said, but I will not kill the patient. Again, just, oh my God, so beautiful. She's just such a hero. Like, okay, this is how, when I have said for so long that man has more class in his pinky than I do in my entire body, because I would have fucking cut that bitch with words for like 10 hours. And her response was, Bernie took this stoically. He did not yell or express outrage. Yeah, but inside he probably was ready to punch someone, because the biggest problem about this, well, one of the biggest problems about this is that they are responsible for what is going on right now. We've been saying this shit. I was one of 40,000 people at Occupy DNC. I like to say that most of us have Occupy DNC PTSD because it was literally one of the worst weeks of our lives. We have never seen so much just rigging. I don't even know what to call it, but it truly was the death of democracy. There was a casket with upside down donkeys on it, and we ripped up our voter registration cards, threw them inside the casket, had a candlelight vigil for democracy, and we all dumb exited. I am proud to be an independent. I am so proud, especially times like these. Not knocking anyone who stays in the Dems, that's personal choice. But yeah, as far as the DNC lawsuit, I am looking for info. I can't find anything tangible from Jared or Elizabeth stating whether or not this is going to help us. I don't see how it couldn't. The only thing I'm thinking, though, is that sometimes when cases come up, other cases are not allowed to be introduced. So that I could see maybe, but I certainly considered that as well. So also what happened today, which is very interesting, is the biggest sellout of 2016, Miss Elizabeth Warren, has also come out and said that she actually knew it was rigged. How about that shit? How about it? She was the biggest sellout for totally ditching Bernie, someone who she disrespected shill a million times for her money ties to basically Wall Street and everything else. She had been working with Bernie for decades. She is disgusting. She's despicable. She is a complete and total betrayer. And the fact that she comes out and says, I know it was rigged, you're the one who sat there and disrespected and ditched the only man who had your back for decades. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Bernie was actually doing an interview when the guy told him that Elizabeth Warren endorsed Hillary. That man's face, I will never forget it, ever. And you know what's fucked up? All of us from the campaign offices, we all called her offices like crazy. We wrote emails, we sent letters, we did everything to say, please, 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 you absolutely will sway it. We need your endorsement. We know you love Bernie. You've known him forever. You guys agree on so much. Just do it. And she didn't respond. And we're like, oh, I guess she's just kind of waiting. But then they did the mass primary. And we're like, well, if she doesn't do it by now, she's not fucking, she's not coming out and doing it. And sure enough, no, she didn't do it. She did it for the bipolar opposite of every single thing that she supposedly stood for. So now you're going to come out and say you knew it was rigged too? That is the biggest, most fucked up betrayal. So yes, the people who literally rigged shit are completely at fault, but the people who turned a blind eye are at fault as well. You sat there and you saw this shit and you did nothing. I understand the Clinton machine is scared to go up against Elizabeth Warren and Donna Brashill are probably both going to be suicided. Let's be real. So I get that it's scary. I totally understand. But there comes a point, yes, murders by proxy, exactly, exactly. There comes a time when you have to say, death before dishonor. Fuck that. Like, she is a complete traitor, complete. So I guess I never knew Donna Brazile and Elizabeth Warren were Russians until today, so that was kind of surprising. I was so curious yet dreading to see what the shills would come out and say. How are they going to justify this? How are they going to, explain this? How is it going to be acceptable? Because it will be. Everything else is. Except when you tell them that if you switched her name with Trump's name, they'd be marching in the streets. Because vagina. Anyway, so I wrote down some of the real gems. So, okay, Bernie isn't a Dem anyway. Actually, just saw a lady put that now, and I hope she was being facetious, because can we just address that right now? He was a registered Dem when he was running. He was on the Democratic ticket. He won 22 states, even though it should have been more because we know how that went. And also, he got 46% of the Democratic vote. Don't forget that shit. It's not like this man came in and got 5%, okay? 46%. And that's only the ones they counted. So, fuck that shit. I hate that shit. So, yeah, Bernie's not a Dem. Well, guess what? Neither is Hillary. She's a fucking Republican. So you know where to take that shit. Because if you're going to play like that, I'll call her out and tell her she's not a fucking Democrat either. So another thing that shills were saying today is, if you believe it was rigged, you're a sexist. I'm kind of a woman, but I have been called a sexist many times by shills. I don't know why. I guess I can be. I don't know. I actually just am not an opportunist. So when somebody uses a vagina card, I call them out, just like I would if, somebody was pulling that shit with any other thing. So this one shill was talking about, if you believed it was rigged, you're a sexist. And I said, well, Donna Brazile is actually a woman and a woman of color. So does that mean you're racist? Or what about when people were saying all that shit about, Bernie, and how could you not vote for Hillary because she's a woman? Did you not vote for Bernie because he's Jewish? Because, stop with the identity politics bullshit. Just stop. Are there people who didn't vote for her because she's a woman? Of course. But that's not why we like Bernie, because he's got male genitalia. I couldn't give two fucks. I'd love to have a woman president, just not her, because that would be a horrible precedent. Any woman that ever ran in the future would get so fucked. They would have to try and make up for any mistakes she had done. You really want the first woman to be someone with so much scandal and so much hatred? The woman lost to the most hated man in the entire world. And she rigged it. That is the most, that is incredible. That, you literally did every single thing in your power to guarantee you won, and you fucking lost. I don't think anyone else could achieve that. So when I see people who have these Hillary signs that say, we made history, yeah, you did. And it's not because she was the first woman nominee. It's because she lost against the fucking most hated person alive. Just like she's coming out with the book and blaming everyone, same thing. Donna Brazile is coming out with a book now. I will not give any money to it. I don't believe in giving money to, people who have stolen from me, because they owe me $2,700 and $27 for each of the 27 delegates I donated to as well. And at least minimum wage for all the houses, doors I knocked on, and all the thousands of phone calls I made, and all the marches I organized, and all the voter registration drives I did. All those things, I would like my money back. Soros, where the fuck is my check? And my friends need to be hooked up as well. Seriously. Yeah, and that's another thing, Michael. A lot of shills tell women or tell people that they're sexist. And actually, what it comes down to is a lot of those guys they call sexist voted for Jill. So, and I kind of think she's a woman. I'm pretty sure. So, I guess you're sexist if you vote for anyone except Hillary. Then, okay, so, but she's a lizard. I'm not anti-lizard. I would have rather written in Bernie because I liked him more. So something else that Donna Brazile said that was pretty upsetting / infuriating was she stated that she actually had this info. She discovered it on September 7th, 2016. Now, if you do the math, that's actually 2 months and 1 day before the election. So that being said, why are you coming out a year later? What is in it for you? She has something going on. I don't know if something huge is about to drop in the DNC. I don't know what's going on, but there's a reason she's coming out with this shit, and it can't be to sell a book. That can't be the only reason. She, if you guys really got to think about this, she was rehired by the DNC 10 days ago. Now, days later, she's coming out with this. Why? There's gotta be a reason. There has to be. So the other interesting thing is Donna Brazile was one of the people who who stated and was in agreement with a few other people that if you read WikiLeaks, you are breaking the law. And now to hear her giving credence to them is actually kind of cool. But there are people who still don't believe WikiLeaks, and, even with 100% rating, and even, with, 10 years of awards because of, all of their accuracy. And even though nobody has denied anything in it, even though 5 heads of the DNC were fired and never contested it, even though all this stuff happened, they're, Russians. I honestly don't give a flying fuck if Satan himself hacked, leaked, whatever that shit. Fact of the matter is, you guys wrote it. Period. Those are your words. I don't care where they came from. It doesn't matter. Stop investigating where shit came from and investigate who said it, why they said it, what are their ulterior motives. Why are they doing this to people? Why are they literally causing the death of democracy? Yeah, Assange, Shield did say Assange is a traitor. Why can't we just drone that guy? But yeah, she meant it as, she doesn't remember saying it, but she is sure if she said it, it was a joke. So is Assange going to get an apology now, or I kind of doubt it. So here's The Hill. The Hill's kind of hit or miss. They do put some neoliberal bullshit. They used to be more reputable. But they wrote something today that I was so incredibly offended by. They wrote an article with the title, "The DNC Owes Bernie and the Dems an Apology." That's your answer. An apology? What can you possibly say that will give us back democracy, that will give us back our time, that will give us back the heart we put in to Bernie's campaign, the hope we had, the actual faith in humanity we gained back? The fact that, thousands of people have been encouraged to run because they never even considered it before, but now they are. What can you do? What can you say in an apology that's going to take any of that pain away? When I was at Occupy DNC, we were watching everything that was going on inside on big screens. And I remember, a lot of the delegates rightly left. They walked out, even though they tried to lock them in for a while. A lot of them did leave. It was so many people just completely sobbing. I've never seen anything like it. And it was not about Bernie. Yes, Bernie should have won. Bernie would have fucking won. Do the math. But the fact of the matter is, it was about having so much hope and putting so much of yourself into something and then having it taken from you unjustly. That's what Occupy DNC was about. Whereas on November 9th, when you see all the shills in the street, that wasn't a protest. That was nothing more than a hissy fit. Hey, Elizabeth, he didn't lose fairly. You aren't even listening. Do you hear yourself? He lost, get over it. Okay, well, let me tell you something. If it was Hillary who was in this position, y'all would be crying and stomping your feet in a freaking hissy fit. Incredible. And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Still, she has these faithful idiots who just sit there and worship her. Why? She is married to a sexual predator. She is she stole billions of dollars from women in Haiti. She gave Russia 20% of our uranium. She didn't even come out and greet her people who literally were there for her from all over the country when she so-called won the nomination, and then also the night that she lost to Trump. She didn't even come out and greet her people. They all sat there crying for hours. She didn't even come out. Is that respect? She dissed your asses for the Women's March. Because why? Because she has a fucking book tour. That's why. That's how much she cares about you. Guess what? Bernard accepted, but y'all were such fucking assholes. He decided, you know what? I'll go to Puerto Rico and help some people like the humanitarian I am. So you can seriously, oh my God, you shills. I swear you're never gonna fucking get it. Never. Seriously. It's absolutely, I will never understand. Ever. You cannot tell me one thing that will make me understand how someone like that can still say that all this shit was legit. Hypocrisy. I encourage every single one of you, anytime somebody defends Hillary Clinton, tell them to change her name with Trump's and ask them if it is still okay. I promise you, they will change their answer. Promise you. Ugh. Hopefully that woman left because she got me all frazzled. But that's the epitome of what we're dealing with. So I guess, this was, more a rant than anything. What it comes down to is I was just so fucking pissed that the only person who's acting presidential right now is the one who got fucking cheated. How about that shit? How's that? Like, Byrne is not perfect. He's not. He doesn't claim to be. He's human. I do not agree with that man on everything. I probably never will. But if he isn't the best thing that's happened to our country in our lifetime, I don't know who is. So when you look at the facts of, who is actually out there fighting for people, who is out there supporting people, who is out there trying to get shit done, he is the senator of Vermont, not the senator of the United States. Why is he out there helping all of us? He's there. I'm going to see him in DC next week for the 5th time. I've seen him in New York, in Philly, in Chicago. Why? He's not campaigning. Gee, could it be because he cares? How about this? He's freaking 66 years or 76 years old. He could have retired over a decade ago. You think he's in it for the big bucks? Senators make like 100, 110 a year. Yeah, it's more than I make. But he'd be fine on retirement. He's doing the shit for us. There's no other way to look at it. That man's not done. He's not. He doesn't even, when you read his book, it's so funny because people talk about when he eats, he doesn't even sit down. And I can see that. That man is on his feet 24/7. It's crazy. That man never stops. He plays basketball. He walks to work. He is a beast. It's incredible. And he has that passion, and that's what keeps him going. I am so incredibly proud to actually know I saw his taxes. So I'm really, really, really proud and honored that I am close friends with Byrne's son. And I actually ended up sending him the article this morning. And when I saw him post it, it was, and he actually, he called Clinton out. When I met his son, Levy, he actually called CNN, the Clinton News Network. When Debbie Wasserman was mentioned, he started booing. Like, he can say the stuff that Byrne can't always say. So, Levy, if you're watching, I love you. Always have, always will. But yeah, Byrne's son will be coming on this month. And yeah, I mean, I think the lesson to learn in all this is that a lot of us actually helped today happen. We didn't let up. We kept fighting. We kept holding them accountable. And I don't think they would have done this if we weren't still insisting on the answers. I am not going to say I told you so, but I am thinking it. I can't help it. We all told you so. Millions of us told you so. But I don't know where this brings us from here. I don't know what's going to happen. I guarantee nobody is going to go to jail or something for it because, as I said, they're invincible. So I can only hope that this at least opens people's eyes, and that something like paper ballots are, done now, or just anything to help democracy, anything to help the voting system. When Hillary stole all those votes, she stole from women too. So when the shills come at you and say, it's sexist to not support Shill, just bring them up. That stealing votes from women is not okay. I don't want to get my hopes up. That's why. I hope they all go to jail more than anything. She actually did steal votes. When you go on YouTube, feel free to look up the fact that she actually got millions of dollars donated to her by a guy who makes the voting machines in 8 states. And there's videos of girls pressing the Bernie primary, or the Bernie button, and it jumps to Shill. You gotta look this stuff up, guys. You have to. Like, I'm not making this shit up. The evidence is there. What about fucking, the caucuses? They do coin flips, coin tosses. You're telling me she won 6 out of 6? She won 6 out of 6. Harvard did a study, and they found, and you can Google this, they found that there is a 1 in 77 billion chance that she won without fraud. They did a study for months. So, I mean, if you're saying she didn't steal votes, then what the fuck was Donna talking about? She stole our money. She stole votes. I know for a fact people, and even a delegate, went to go vote in New York, and they were turned away because they were switched from Democrat, which they've been their whole life. They were switched to independent, so they couldn't vote. That's legit? That's not stealing votes? No, that's bullshit. That's stealing. When you're making something happen that wouldn't have happened, that's bullshit. So I don't care what kind of word you want to call it. It's unethical, and it's lying, and it's stealing. Period. I knew there'd be some apologists in here. I knew it. But thankfully, most of you guys are freaking awesome. You guys are amazing. You're the reason why I have the balls to do this because it's not easy. I know I'm intense at times, but this is kind of, you know, Steve, if you watch my shows, I actually interview Bernie Kratz. I did one last night. I have one tomorrow. I have one next week. I actually interview at least 1 to 2 people a week. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We actually, we just have to keep on them. We'll keep digging for the truth, keep sharing the truth. And, you know, something I pretty much say almost every single day is never lose your fucking sense of outrage. Burn that shit fucking down. Thanks for watching, guys.